nice way in which I like to practicalize the love key is by using the 5 love languages. The 5 love languages indicate to us that every human being will communicate in love with different emphasis. It's like having a core language with which we can all speak. However, if that language has various dialects, you'll find out that 2 people who speak the same dialect communicate better than 2 who are speaking 2 different dialects under that main language. It's like if you, on a generic basis, you find out that the Latin root languages kind of tend to be similar, and if you know one word in Latin, there's a tendency that you'll know it in these other languages. Some words are similar in French, and they are in Spanish. Some are in the Latin root languages. You'll find out that it's easy to say amor, you know, in different languages, and somehow you can understand. But if you give 2 people who speak the same language, you'll find out that the communication is a whole lot better, and they understand one another with better clarity. It's the same thing with the 5 love languages. Now, the 5 love languages that have been identified are this. One is the giving and receiving of gifts. The second one is spending quality time. The third one is acts of service. The fourth one, words of affirmation. And finally, physical touch. Now, these 5 different love languages are primarily the way in which 2 people will communicate with one another in the area of love, whether it's the love of marriage or the love of parental love or just a normal love relationship. However, if in a marriage where there's close proximity every 24 hours, you are constantly speaking 2 different languages, it doesn't take a very long time before you start to get to a point where one person starts to not feel loved and another one feels that I am showing love but it's not being received, or I keep doing everything I need to do but I don't understand why I am not well appreciated. Now, it may be because you both are speaking 2 primarily different love languages. So my challenge to all of us who are married to keep our marriage relationship healthy is to go and ensure that you discover the primary love language of your spouse. Because if your spouse loves giving gifts and receiving gifts, and you don't appreciate giving gifts, that spouse eventually, after a while, is going to figure out or start to question whether they are truly loved by you. They'll know they are loved, but in the times of low seasons, they're not going to feel seriously loved. And the reason why they say this is that they talk about us having a love tank. Everybody has a love tank, and that love tank is filled by your spouse speaking your primary love language. So if your spouse gives you a gift today in the area of your love language, you feel truly loved, isn't it? If tomorrow they do the same, you feel the same way. You will even feel over the top that I am so loved. If this man loves me any more, I don't know what I will do. However, if your spouse's primary love language is quality time together, but you are so busy working hard so that you can provide as many gifts as possible, and you don't have enough time to spend quality time with your spouse, eventually, no matter how hard you work, no matter how many gifts, no matter how expensive those gifts are, because you are flaunting their primary love language, which is quality time, there is a tendency for their love tank to get empty and empty and empty. And when that love tank gets empty, they become irritable. They become short-winded. They are intolerant of your areas of weakness. They are not very supportive. They become insensitive, or it's just not healthy any longer, because they don't feel so well loved, because the way they would have received love is to have spent time with you, whereas you're giving love by taking time away from them and pouring it into buying gifts that are valuable to you, but they no longer hold the value to your spouse. And so it's important that you know, whether it's acts of service, a spouse who loves you to do things for them. Fix the bulb for me. The doorknob is off. Will you get me a cup of tea? Will you massage my back? I just need someone to just give me a break for 1 hour so I can be with the babies. Acts of service. Can you go to the laundry and collect the laundry for me? If that's the primary love language of your spouse, and every time they make an acts of service request of you, you turn it down, you take away from their love tank. Amen? So it's important. Some like words of affirmation, which means they want you to constantly affirm them with your words, which means, and no matter how low their day is, once they get a word of affirmation, they feel energized to go and fight any war that they have to fight, go and face any battle that they need to face. However, if you don't understand that that's their primary love language, and when they're going through a low season, instead of affirming them, you spend time buying gifts to cheer them up, and they're like, thank you. Or someone who says, physical touch, I don't ask for a lot, but kiss me on the forehead, pat me on the back, hold my hand. I like to identify with you, rub my back, give my head a massage. When I come back from work, I am tired and I am weary. I am pregnant and I'm uncomfortable. Will you give me a back rub? Will you give me a little massage on my feet? If that's their primary love language, that spouse is going to think you are the best thing and the best gift that God could ever have given them. So discover yours and understand your spouse, your children, the people who are close to you, and start practicing it. In fact, during counseling time, when we're dealing with broken relationships, or we're dealing with marriage relationships that need some kind of improvement, we say go and apply the love language in the next 24 hours and do it consistently for 7 days and see if there won't be a little bit of a turnaround in that relationship. So let's apply the love key, okay?